Here we are. So good afternoon. I am Luca.
I'm Marta.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We are very happy to share this information with you. And today we will talk about the system Nirvana of BTS, which is a system for rehabilitation for virtual reality. I will do a short introduction on the situation of the status of the development of this system, generally speaking. Then Marta will enter more in details and present some clinical cases, the new features and clinical cases. And then at the end, we will answer any doubt question you might have during our presentation. Feel free to write your question during the presentation in the chat, and we will answer you in a moment when we will finish our presentation. So I think we can start. And before starting our presentation, we would like to understand how many of you have already have experience with using virtual reality system with rehabilitation. If you please can vote, then we will show you the result just to understand the audience that we have today. So let's wait a few seconds. So we have 43 experienced user and 57 without any experience. Okay, thank you very much. We will consider this in our presentation. So, first of all, in the last years, the clinical research has moved from whether virtual reality works to how strongly it accelerates functional recovery, meaning that now is almost accepted that this kind of system support are very effective in a rehabilitation process, especially when we consider semi-immersive room scale systems like Nirvana compared to headsets, goggles and gloves and this kind of fully immersive system. So the papers, the publication says that those systems, semi-immersive, are very effective. Here I recap some of the most recent articles that I found on the internet regarding upper limb functional recovery, improving balance in adults, very good results in therapy adherence with semi-immersive in particular respect to fully immersive system, lower cyber sickness, which is the main issue of the fully headset mounted system, and very fast setup for therapists. Those are the 4 articles that I have collected in this summary. Later on, you will receive the presentation, so you will have the opportunity of going deeper into this area. So at the end, we can say that today, semi-immersive virtual rehabilitation system deliver clinically meaningful gains in motor function, balance, program adherence, minimizing the side effects that still limit the head-mounted systems. So this is in general about this category of rehabilitation devices. In particular, we see that the recent publication articles specifically related to Nirvana are providing very interesting and beneficial results on patients. Here again, I summarized a few data which are very impressive. Later on, Marta will enter more in some clinical cases. Anyhow, we finally can summarize that the Nirvana approach provides objective motor, cognitive, and emotional gains across different pathologies and very important across age groups. why the Nirvana results to be that effective. Typically, when we speak to therapists, we realize that in the traditional rehabilitation therapy process, there are three main pains, which are the engagement of the patient, the measurement of the progresses, and the management of the activities and the activities workflow, which are exactly the three main points in which Nirvana set a change of paradigm. Here, for example, we can see that related to the pain of the boring and repetitive task of traditional rehabilitation, which often brings to lose the patient to patient dropout, the Nirvana answer with a gamified rehabilitation, which is engaging thanks to the real-time feedback, which, as many of you know, is a visual and auditive feedback. The second pain is that the outcome of the traditional therapy is subjective, is related to the doctor, to the therapist doing the therapy, and the tracking is very poor. And for the second pain, the Nirvana answer with an objective measurement, evaluation of the behavior of the patient. And the third pain is the long setup time and the poor outcome that you have in a traditional rehabilitation process, which is solved by a easier and easier, I would say, system to be used by therapists. So in short, we can summarize that this gamified task keep patients coming back, being very involved, and in some cases enjoying the process, the rehabilitation process. Also that the objective metrics make the progress very visible and understandable, and that this plug and play sensor facilitate and accelerate the workflow of the therapist. So every day using the Nirvana, our customers are really valuing these three points, three advantages. What about the clinicians? We talk a lot with our clinicians, and every time we have to develop and implement a new feature, the question is, does this make life easier for the therapist? And we believe that in particular, when we will see today the 3.0 news and features, we answer yes to this question. The new system is require a setup that is really very quick, matter of seconds. So it means that each rehabilitation session is a real time dedicated to rehabilitation session, not arguing with the tools. Second point, it gives limb-specific objective numbers in a moment, at a glance, replacing, as we already said, the guesswork that you can do without data available. And third, we generate a report that is very useful for both therapists and patients. I also summarize here those points, 30-second auto-calibration, specific limb real-time feedback, which can allow the therapist to do instant correction during therapy, auto-generated PDF report. This will also a very nice point from Marta's presentation. And then more and more, I would say, minimum learning curve to understand how to use the system. So again, just to summarize, the three gains: time, data, and insights, and administrative relief, which translate into smoother workflow, better care, and better result for the patient. Last but not least, the more important, the benefits for the patients, because more and more is in a common sense that semi-immersive virtual reality changes patients' experience in the three ways that matter. Higher engagement, we already said that, but this is now based on papers, publication, and objective data. Dual task scenarios, more and more discussed and shared in the clinical community, because a few years ago we were talking about motor and cognitive rehabilitation, like two separate fields. Now more and more we hear listening about motor cognitive therapy data, which can enable personalized progression. And when a patient see an objective progress of what he is doing, this boosts a lot motivation. So in short, again, to summarize, patients feel safer, more engaged and involved, so they work harder, and they understand they progress better, which are, in the clinical community view, those are the three pillars that are needed for a durable and effective functional gains and rehabilitation. So for the people who don't know the Nirvana yet, now I leave the stage to Marta. And before continuing with the presentation, there is a very short video showing how the Nirvana works and the interaction between the patient and Nirvana. Houston?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. We will start here. Thanks. A very quick video about the Nirvana system, especially for people who usually don't use it or don't know it. So Nirvana is a system that also, as Luca said, uses augmented reality. It's a medical device that helps for neurorehabilitation, motor rehabilitation. It has two different projections, one floor and wall configurations, as you see here. And you have different exercises that can combine, as also mentioned before, cognitive and motor assessment and exercise. You can treat different types of impairments and deficits, from motor upper limb, lower limb parts, to more cognitive deficits, for example, attention, perception, coordination, balance disorders. And everything, of course, is in just one software that is included in the system that we provide. And you have a very big exercise library that is always updated. These are just examples of the people, the clients that already have chosen Nirvana, that are using Nirvana, and then we will see also other examples later. Now, focusing a little bit more on what's new in Nirvana at the moment, we wanted to show here a comparison of the hardware part, so not just the software, but first we want to show you how compact and actually smaller the new sensor is compared to the previous one, which is on the left side of the slide. You see that actually it offers a 35% reduction in size, making it easier to mount on wall or floor, so with tripods or just with I don't know in English the name, but the
Wall mounted.
The wall mounted. Latency is significantly improved, halved from 22 milliseconds to 11 milliseconds, which means faster real-time feedback. And it also features one-click self-calibration, so it's easier and faster also the calibration part, which is then fixed and ready for usage. The second main important upgrade of this release is the dual sensor configuration. This is a very game changer in terms of the usage of Nirvana system in clinical routine, because this ensures natural interaction regardless of posture, and is especially valuable for patients using, of course, wheelchairs or other aids and large amplitude tasks. It consists of the implementation and integration of two identical sensor for just one configuration, so just for the wall or just for the floor. And these, of course, minimize blind spots. So blind spots are reduced. You can actually move very freely in the space, in the calibrated volume in the area, and especially for people and for patients that are very highly impaired, it gets easier also for these patients to perform the movement and to be detected by the sensor. Another new feature that will be implemented is the new NIRVANA 3.0 is the markerless skeleton tracking. With markerless skeleton tracking, the system can follow up to 20 body joints, and it automatically distinguishes between left and right limbs. Calculates movement asymmetry and smoothness. So you have more and more data and parameters that can be tracked over time and provides real-time feedback. This is very crucial for monitoring recovery progress and adjusting rehabilitation protocols dynamically based on the type of patient that it's treating. Another important upgrade is the fact that we have implemented a multi-detection, multi-blob capability. So the system is capable of detecting up to 4 points at the same time. So this enables complex rehab tasks, such as bilateral movement, as you see here, two subjects playing. Or dual task exercises where a cognitive and motor task are usually performed simultaneously, which is very in particular useful for neurorehabilitation and for stroke patients, MS patients, or also for children. Altogether, these features regarding more the system, the NIRVANA system itself, are integrated together with the BTS ecosystem. So one of the NIRVANA strength is its a seamless integration with the rest of BTS systems. This includes BioBit for gait imbalance. So we are using BioBit inertial sensor, inertial measurement unit for analyzing gait imbalance metrics, spatial temporal parameters, pre and post NIRVANA exercises, so NIRVANA usage. And of course, also 3mg for surface electromyography and muscle activation assessment will be also used in integration with all the BTS ecosystem. So the unified architecture and JSON architecture ensures that all sensor data can be combined into a comprehensive report that is exportable in a PDF or raw formats as you prefer. And it's, of course, which is ideal for multidisciplinary team evaluation. This is another example of the report of a BioBit test, so our inertial measurement unit that is integrated in NIRVANA system that can be combined together as pre and post assessment, pre and post evaluation. Altogether, this slide actually represents the unified report snapshot. In this case, is an example of the new report that will come out from the NIRVANA usage after the new integration of the new upgrades and the new features. It displays trend graphs, asymmetry scores, session notes, just in one place that can be compared over time. The system allows for automatic export in PDF or also raw data. And this makes, of course, easy for multidisciplinary teams for tracking patients over time, for creating also group of patients. So it gets like life easier for both clinicians and researchers. This is also another example of what the new report will be, how the new report will be after the latest upgrades of NIRVANA, with pretty much the main parameters coming from the markerless skeleton analysis, so symmetry, accuracy, smoothness, fluidity of movement, all together combined also in different sessions. So just to summarize, the main features that are already integrated or will be integrated in the new Nirvana are a smoother and smaller reactive sensor, the possibility to integrate two sensors for each configuration, so two for wall, two for floor, to create a more immersive and ecological movement during the exercise. Markerless skeleton tracking that will give you new parameters, smoothness, asymmetry, accuracy of movement, etc. Integration of all this, the Nirvana system in other Nirvana systems, so in the BTS other BTS systems, so the BTS ecosystem, and finally a unified report that will present all this data coming from skeleton, dual sensor configuration, etc., and also other systems together. Yes.
Sorry, Marta. Considering that you come from the clinical side of the moon, and considering that all the papers that you are going to show are based on the previous version of the system, which did not have this feature. If you would give a number to the news that we are introducing, like this more freedom of movement, this skeleton tracking, give a number to the effectiveness of the system that you would expect with the new version clinically. It's a totally different system. Give us some.
It is a pretty much totally different system, actually. It's a system that can be used a lot, like I would say 80% more in terms of research and research publications. That, of course, then will be needed to be validated, of course, in terms of parameters, but it's something that can be easily done. And also in terms of usage. So it gets easier, quicker also to use every day with also more patients. If you can treat more patients with Nirvana, of course, you have a higher quality of clinical routine, but also a higher number of people that can be evaluated and analyzed also for research. So I would say that it's a game changer.
Okay, thank you.
And this is a roadmap of these new upgrades that will be present in Nirvana during this next year. So we already have integrated the double sensor integration, the double sensor in the same configuration. So that's very important to say. If you want to purchase or start using Nirvana, from now on, you have two sensors for wall, two sensors for floor, because we saw that it's like easier, better also for the clinicians and for the patient himself.
Do you think that still makes sense to deliver a system with one sensor only?
No. Okay. Not anymore. Yeah. We are upgrading the library with the cognitive and motor exercises together, or just cognitive or just more motor exercises for different type of impairments, and we usually do every quarter. So we will continue to do it, and we will maybe have like a more number of new exercises coming up, since we are upgrading a lot of the hardware part. So yeah, we put like Q4 2025, but we are still working a lot also on other new releases. The 2026, especially in the beginning, will be the year of the integration of the inertial sensor, so our BioBit into the system, in order to have also a very accurate and validated pre and post motor assessment with special parameters. And finally, the new report, which will be in pretty much less than 1 year, with also the comparison library of all the exercises together, the sessions together, the therapies together. And this will also combine all the skeleton part, which is already present, the markerless skeleton analysis, which is already present in the system, but will be used for extracting the parameters that will be present in the report. So this is pretty much the idea. Now, just to have a quick break, also if you have other questions, you just write it here that we will check later. We would like to ask, in which clinical field do you work? Pediatric, neuromotor, more like adult, elderly, neurodegenerative diseases, or other field too? Okay, so we have we have more like adult patients, neuromotor, so more combination maybe of cognitive and motor with adult elderly patients, not very much of pediatric. But we have a few examples of some papers that were published in this area. So thank you for your answer. Let's go through. I will also close this part. Okay. Okay, so now we just want to show some clinical cases. We just picked some examples of publications that we found, and that, of course, our clients are publishing all the time. For example, this is an example of a stroke, a publication on stroke, and this is very recent. It's from 2025, as a patient that analyzes 22 stroke patients, and where Nirvana was used in to analyze actually the effect of the therapy. So a group did a conventional therapy plus BTS Nirvana, so also VR assistant therapy, and the other group just uses 3-week period of conventional therapy, and they actually see greater improvements in upper limb function. So they just focus on the upper limb part, including shoulder mobility, functional hand use, and evidence by score, like specific scores and ranges from brainstorm, shoulder external rotation range, and Chidoki arm test. So actually, this publication was very interesting because not only shows how effective in terms of objective data it can be Nirvana in your clinical routine, but also the authors conclude that BTS Nirvana can be safe, can be as effective also for the clinicians to use, the physiotherapists and the medical doctors to use over time. And this is also a plus, of course. The second example that we would like to report here is a clinical study on multiple sclerosis. Here, the number of patients is higher. They analyzed 60 MS patients, 30 in the experimental group using Nirvana and 30 in the control group. The group using Nirvana showed superior improvements in cognitive functions and motor performance. Cognitive functions was analyzed through memory test, attention test, and the performance was compared, of course, to conventional therapy. And of course, also this paper suggests the power of Nirvana, especially combined cognitive and physical training, so together to stimulate multisensory integration and motivation of these patients that can be also very young through the rehabilitation process. Another case that we want to show you is the pediatric global development delay. So this paper was published with autism spectrum disorder patients. They used to train and to do rehabilitation for 20 sessions of 45 minutes per day for 5 days per week, so very intense. And at the end of these sessions, there was an increased brain cognitivity analyzed through EEG, and also behavioral improvements in socialization, communication, and daily living skills. So it was very important also to show that not only motor and specific cognitive performance yes, and also deficits that are impaired, that are also trained and worked through Nirvana. But not only this is improved, but also other soft skills, such as, for example, socialization, communications, daily living skills are also improved in this particular population. This highlights, of course, that Nirvana potential is very high, and especially in children, in pediatric patients, because the immersion is very challenging for the patients, both patients, of course, adults, elderly, and pediatric, but it can be also satisfying. Okay, beside this part, which was more related to publications, here we always put some case studies that are present in our website. And we usually get like clients that use our systems, not only Nirvana in this case, they use also Nirvana. And we like to update also this page with new stories, successful stories. So if you want to also go to the website and check, you can actually see a lot of examples and get in touch also with us and with the clients too if you have any questions.
Yeah, you can see the different way they approach the use of the system, different pathologies, different.
Yeah.
So go to our website and you will see all the details related to these success stories.
Yes. And just finally, also before starting the Q&A, we want to ask you, are you considering to introduce the Nirvana system into your practice, your daily routine or clinical within the next 1 year? Pretty much.
And again, this is not a commitment. This is anonymous, so we will not push you, but just to let us understand if you really feel the need of such kind of rehabilitation support systems.
Okay, cool. Just for us also to understand.
So 72%, it's a good result. Thank you very much. So, okay, before going to your questions, just this, okay, we call it webinar promotion. Is not, we cannot offer any special discount because we work globally and our products are distributed in all the world by our subsidiaries or by our local distributors in different currencies with different importing taxes. So it's really difficult to reach all of you with the promotion on the product. But we thought that might be interesting for you to have this exclusive complimentary training, which are 2 hours made by one of our product specialists in the news and clinical details or technical details about the use of the system if you already have the Nirvana. And you can apply within the next 30 days using this special code. Then also a personalized demo, which is impossible to do in a webinar like this because it depends on your specific need and application. But by using this Calendly, you can set up, it's 1 hour slot usually, again, with one of our specialists to show practically. We always have a system here in our office in Garbagnate and get into how it works for my specific need and clinical setup. And third point, as I said before, if you have the system and would like to consider an upgrade with double sensor or new software, please get in touch with your reference distributor in your country or with our sales contact. Later on, we will also have emails to get in touch with us, to contact us if you need any specific information. So thank you very much.
I will just put here the email and website and all our information. So we have received a few questions from Greg Jackson. Nice to meet you, Greg. I just want to tell, maybe we will get in touch with you directly because we see that there is a lot of going on here, especially in terms of curiosity about the US market. We can get you in touch with our US representative. I just want to tell you that our system is a medical device, FDA approved. So of course, we can sell in the US, the entire system, so hardware and software part. We have different clients that are using also the system in the US, Canadian, US market, and in America in general. So maybe if you want like more sales part or market questions, answer to this type of questions, maybe we catch later on also with our responsible representative of US. And also for another question from Iraq. Thank you for your question. We have an official partner in Iraq, and we can give you the information. Also, we will send you the information by email if it's fine for you. And also, we will send the request to our representative here to your market. So, of course, he will get in touch with you as soon as possible.
This is okay. Ray, I got your point. We will get in touch with you for this adding this second sensor.
Okay. Yes, exactly. Because if you already have a system with just one sensor, you can still ask for an upgrade and discuss with us or with the representative for the second sensor to be integrated, because it's pretty straightforward if you have like the Nirvana 3 system already. But yes, in terms of more like tender technical things, etc., maybe we discuss directly with you, Ray.
Anything else? Catherine.
I'm wondering if the software can be updated somehow with these new upgrades. Yes. I think you are talking, hi, Catherine, nice to meet you. I think you are talking about a very old system, because if you're using Kinect sensor, it's pretty downgrade. Yes, you can, of course, ask for an updated. I mean, I suggest to do so. And maybe we can directly talk about how to do it, but yes, it can be easily done. You would have to change, of course, the hardware part.
But we can, the salesperson will consider the fact that you already invested in the previous system, so we will find a proper compromise. Then Zri is asking if there is a need for renewal, an yearly renewal of the software. No, actually. In this moment, we are not applying this business model. Maybe in the future, I don't know. At the moment, we are selling the system, and what we recommend is not an annual fee for the software updates, but what we recommend is an annual fee for having a global customer support and training support, all these kind of things, but not specific for annually renewing the license.
Okay, and we would like to ask to answer to this question from Gelli Manti. Gelli Manti, sorry for mispronunciation. Thank you very much for your question and for the message. Okay, first of all,
she's asking about the space. For the other people, it's better to.
She's asking about how many eligible population are to use Nirvana system. So In this case, you can actually, Nirvana can be applied, can be used for different type of patients, from neurodegenerative diseases, pediatric diseases, developmental diseases, children, elderly, older adults, more motor, more cognitive. It can be actually, it's pretty ecological, it's pretty easy to use in terms of freedom of movement. So you can use, you can any type of patients of population can use Nirvana. And regarding the minimum space, we usually recommend to have an empty white wall, which is usually 3 per 2 meters wide for the projection of the wall configuration, and same space for the floor. Just consider that sometimes, and usually, clients have Nirvana also in gyms with other tools inside. So you just need to switch on, switch off when you use the system. So it can be also installed in a bigger space with also other systems together.
Then Taylor is asking, where can I watch videos of Nirvana performance?
We have a big playlist of videos of all the
YouTube as well.
Yes, in YouTube. We can send you over if you want by email, or the link with all the exercises. And how much is useful? Someone is asking for spinal cord injury patients. I think it depends on the degree of the impairments. Because for spinal cord, usually it depends on the level also. But if you can still use a wheelchair, you can stay sitting down, you can still use the wall configuration and using your upper limb part, or also moving and working a lot on the balance control, core control during the exercise. So this can be still done. But of course, it depends on the level of injury and the impairments.
Early.
Is Nirvana 3 for early interventional program for child?
Interventional, maybe.
You mean you are asking if Nirvana can be, for sure, it's very useful for children and for autism spectrum disorders, because it enhances a lot, like the way that the kids are doing therapy, because it's more immersive than conventional therapy, and any type of children with these dysfunctions can use it. I don't know if I answered the question.
Then Zanain from Iraq asking, what are the components of the system? Well, it's the sensor that Marta just showed, projectors, and a small central unit computer. So it's not that space requiring, very easy to install. But as I recommend you to fix a specific demonstration with our specialist, with Martha as well, in order to get more into details of each component and get a specific demonstration for your center in Iraq.
André da Clientec. Também sou integrados no Nirvana. Hi, Andre, can I speak English or should I speak Portuguese?
English. And repeat the question because it's not clear.
He's asking if the cognitive test from BioBit will be integrated in Nirvana. The thing is, we will try to keep things separated in terms of how to perform the test. So you will use BioBit both cognitive and motor test, and then you perform Nirvana, and then you perform again cognitive/motor test with BioBit. So you see the differences, like pre, post, or over time. But yes, also the cognitive part will be used, and I think it's like the most important thing actually to see if you are using like the BioBit software pre and post assessment. So at the moment we will keep this separated, then we will join everything in just one big report.
Okay, I think we answer
in English. Thank
Okay,
you.
I think we answer all the questions for time being. Once again, please get in touch with us. Do not hesitate. We are available to show deeper cases and show how it works and discuss specific requirement with all of you. So once again, thanks. Thank you very much for being here with us. It was very interesting. We also got a lot of information from you, which is always very important for us. It's a good moment for interaction. And see you next time, next webinar.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.